how to think differently as a super searcher rather than specific techniques, but just more of the how to think like a super searcher. And the first is to stay focused with a clear focus. Know what's the point of the research that you're doing. It's not just to find certain information. It's so that somebody else can do something with the information. So keep in mind who's going to be seeing the results and what are they going to be doing with it next. Think about what's the answer going to look like? Is it going to be a table or chart? Is it going to be an expert's opinion? Is it going to be an authoritative report? I mean, what in general, bigger than a bread box, smaller than an elephant kind of scoping? And this is the question, the question that we always have to ask ourselves and be honest with ourselves about is, what do I need to do before I start this research? What do I need to find out? With that research for the company that provides synthetic data, the first thing I needed to do was do some research and figure out what synthetic data was, how it was generated, what it's used for, why is it better than anyway. So what do I need to do before I'm in there actually throwing words into a search engine or a search box? After I've started searching, it's stay focused. And these next two items I think are really hard sometimes. Separate the essential from the tangential. When you're finding a lot of information, it's so easy to say, oh, this is beautiful, and this is great, and this is lovely. And all of a sudden, we've got way more information than our client or patron wants, or than we can use. And so we have to, as we're going along, make sure that you stay focused on, is this just tangential to what I'm looking at, or is this critical to the answer of whatever I'm doing this research for? Likewise, what's a strategic, interesting outlier, and what's just irrelevant? And there's no firm way of knowing what those are. But in any particular research, keep in mind which of those, what is this interesting thing? Is this an outlier I should bring to the attention of my patron, or is this just random stuff? Know when to say when, and this is we have to stop at some point. This research can only take X minutes, X hours, X days, and at some point admitting that, there's only so much that we can do. And I make sure that I spend 25% of the time that I spend on a project, when I know when to say when, on the post-processing. I talk about the IOTA-WOOF, which is an acronym that's never taken off. It's all on the web for free. The way we fight that is to make sure we don't just ever do data dumps, but we're always doing value adding. And I'll talk about that more at Searcher Academy tomorrow. When you're doing search, especially on the search engines, don't get too complex. When you overthink all the synonyms for something, you're giving a search engine too much useless information and not the critical information. Likewise, I tend to graze. I'm looking for the next place to go, not necessarily everything. I don't try to do exhaustive searches. I try to do lots of good searches. Trust your gut. When you're finding the same stuff over and over again, it's time to say when, and that sometimes maybe the answer just isn't out there. You've done enough research and you just can't do it. And I've learned to love relevance ranking. To answer the question that came up before, I don't mind that Google's tracking my searches, because if I'm exploring different aspects of a problem, I want Google to know that so that it does a better job of relevance ranking. Think about what the answer should look like and search for that instead of what the question is. These are just two simple examples. If you're trying to figure out what a company is changing, you do a Google search, you look for the company name and the words overhaul or revamp, because that's what the answer, articles about how a company is changing, is likely to use those words or phrases. This isn't rocket science. It's just more important now than ever with the abundance of types and formats of information. We also need to expand what an answer looks like. The easy answers are gone. Ready reference is never the same, because we know that everybody's Googled things before. So we need to think a little more expansively about what could constitute an answer? Could giving profiles from an individual's or organization's social media give us insights? Or pulling information from tables of contents of market research reports often gives you a list of competitors. So it's, let's think creatively about what else, what other answers we can get. And I'm going to go real quickly on this one. Just remember that sometimes the answers are in unlikely places. I just discovered this. I was doing research on a big industry, and I stumbled into the small business section of the U.S. Census Department, and there were all of these data tools that were not, it was under the category small business data tools. So I'm thinking, oh, this is just stuff no, it was all kinds of useful stuff. So, get creative in where you're going to be finding these tools. These were just two answers I could get from small business data tools. I could find the fastest growing counties in a state or a region. I could see underserved cities for healthcare resources. Often people don't think to ask you for census data, but you can find the answer there. So think creatively about that. And 3 last tips. To get Super Searcher results, take another 30 seconds with every search that you do and try one more approach. 30 seconds, just 30 seconds. Most of the time it won't get you anything, but it only costs you 30 seconds, and the 1 in 10 times you strike gold. Watch for the biases and assumptions in your query. There's always there, just when you're not getting a lot of what you're expecting, look for where you're assuming something that's not there. And as I mentioned before, close enough is often good enough. We're not going to be able to find the exact answers, but we get what we try to find what is enough to answer the question so that the person who's asking it can do something with the results.